everybody. Welcome back to Chuckle Sandwich, the first episode of Chuckle Week.
We are back.
Chuckle Week 2.0, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. This is the second time. It's the better time, and we're here with Freddie W. What does a W stand for?
Wong.
Wow.
Wong.
Like Wong.
The most common last name in the world.
Oh, it's a last name.
Wow.
Oh, and Freddie W.
I've had people straight up come up to me and they're like, dude, Fred Dew. Like, they thought that, and it was like, I'm not kidding. Like, my last name was D-I-E-W. I'm like, that's not a last name. I've never seen that last name before.
So it goes Freddie.
Yeah. W.
W is the username.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
correct.
the W stands for Wong.
Freddie
Yeah, yeah.
W.
Wow.
Wong.
I thought it was just meant like wow, and it was like all the videos.
Freddie,
Wow.
comma,
Freddie
wow.
Wow.
up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For me, it was more of like when I saw your video, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was
There are really
oh,
two
so that
camps,
must have been-
actually, if you really break it
Yeah,
down.
there's the wowers and the wowers.
Yeah, exactly,
Which,
yeah,
Freddie,
yeah.
which one are you?
I got to remain a neutral middle ground for that.
What
yeah.
is the neutral middle between wow and whoa, do you think?
the middle ground between wow and whoa? Both of those are so exemplary.
They are actually. Yeah.
I think it's nice. Nice.
For those of you who don't know, Freddie W. is OG YouTuber, one of the first to actually do it.
I'm a
and do it
dinosaur
well.
YouTuber at this point.
Exactly,
dude.
man. And you founded Rocket Jump Film Company. You made my favorite show on the internet right now. that has
you.
been for a decade at
Thank
this
you.
point.
Thank
Video
you.
Game High School.
Thank you.
And it's just great to have you here. I think we're
Yeah,
all
it's good
huge fans.
Good to be on. Thank you for having me, man.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm told we get to swear and yell at each other, so that's
we
why
can
I
do
always
a
do.
lot of fucking swearing.
Yeah.
We can do a little bit of shit here and there.
Oh man,
Cock balls. Whatever you
Okay,
want to
come on,
say.
man.
Hey, come on,
Listen,
that's kind of
Ease
inappropriate.
into
you
it,
need
man.
an
there's
intro
a
to
line.
get to the balls
the dick and balls guy is coming here to tell me that
Listen,
I can't
well,
say
I'm just
cock
saying
and
it's not
balls.
your thing. I can fucking
true, it's
do
a
it if
thing.
I want to, but you can't come out the gate swinging saying dick and balls before I do.
It's true.
Back
Did
me
you
up on
just
this,
say
Freddie.
cum?
No, that's true. If someone's
true.
got like a trademark,
It's
you know,
true.
you don't step in
It's my
front
thing.
of that. Yeah.
So you're saying you have rights to all to cock? Never mind.
But yeah, I mean, we're so happy to have you here. I'm honestly amazed that we managed to get you here. It was sort of just a
Yeah, I had
a
to
series
illegally
of magic.
restream your show to get your attention.
It worked though, right?
In reality, the
Yeah,
reason
I'm here to hand over some papers that you guys want served.
he came here just on the podcast to be like, "All right, guys, you're going to court," and then we have to spend the rest of the hour being like, "Please, no."
This
So-
is just Freddie's lawyer dressed up as
Yeah,
Freddie.
no, Freddie's at home.
The backstory of this is that, you know, obviously the Twitch thing that everyone does now is just react to TV shows. And well, I mean, am I
I
wrong?
want to ask you about Twitch stuff, but
Of
keep
course,
going.
yeah.
The Twitch
absolutely.
meta is what they
The
call
meta,
it.
yeah, the meta.
So I
Master
came
Chef.
back. I basically took a 2-year break from streaming because
Yeah.
I didn't, you know, I thought YouTube was a little more fun.
yeah.
Opinion shifted. You know, I'm back on Twitch. I was like, all right, let me look at the landscape. Let me see what's going on. People reacting to Avatar and Death Note and shit. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? Video Game High School
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
like more up my alley, you know.
Yeah.
And so
Also, we wouldn't sue you, right? Compared.
Yeah, I know.
Yet.
Yeah.
I know, but I also wanted to do the extra step, you know. And so I reached out to everybody. I was like, hey, Freddie, you know, can I stream the show? And then Jimmy saw it somehow.
Yeah.
And Jimmy was like, yeah, dude, you could do it.
Yeah.
Jimmy is Freddie's brother.
And who plays Ted?
Who
on
plays
VHS,
Ted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I very much so connected with. You
Which
know,
Ted is.
it's not very often in a TV show that you get the name Ted, you know, utilized. So when I saw that you guys made a character that was
Yeah, there's.
Ted,
I mean, How I Met Your Mother's a Ted.
Yeah.
Better Off Ted.
Yeah.
There's quite a few actually.
Yeah, now that I think about it, there's
Yeah,
a
there's
lot
quite
of
a bit.
shows.
Yeah,
with
you're
Freddie.
not special.
A common name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And
Damn, Freddie, you're really coming after me. I'm getting roasted already. I mean,
listen, Ted, be more needy,
yeah,
okay?
Yeah, thanks. I mean, jeez. Well, I was very happy that it was a character named Ted.
Yeah.
We get it. Anyways,
Jesus.
So this
So I do my
just so you
stream
know.
now. I
just
just
so,
like-
well, let me
Okay,
bring this
yeah.
up. This is a theme on the show. Is that Schlatt likes to come out. He likes to, you know, he likes to say terrible things. He likes to claim I did terrible things. He likes to frame me.
You lost it. It's gone.
He likes to frame
got
me,
it, yeah.
but as we all know, I mean, nobody frames the law.
Dude.
So,
There's a law.
Really from
It's
the
a
law.
good one. So I do start streaming the show.
Yeah.
Everyone notices because I'm fucking awesome And then
Yeah, because you're hot shit, baby.
Yeah.
I'm hot shit.
Yeah.
And then
He's sexy.
Freddie reaches out and he's like, hey, I'd love to come on. And then I bring Ted in to the same episode. We watched season 2, episode 1 together.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I think we kind of cornered you and said, hey, you should come on our podcast now.
And here we are. It
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
worked out. After that stream ended, we were like, do you think I'll actually come on? And so we were like, up until like maybe like
30 minutes ago.
maybe 30 minutes ago,
30
we were
minutes.
like,
You
we were like,
unsure?
We were like,
I don't know. We don't know. I mean,
SJW.
we were so excited, but we were
I'm
like,
very happy that the reputation I have is one of like, ooh, he's so cool, he might ghost us. Because you know what I'm saying? like I was like, because I was on the way here, I was stressed out. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna be like a minute late because of traffic. Like,
no, I
but
mean,
see, now that I know,
No,
man,
you're
okay, I
you were
should slow
fine.
down.
Dude, you were the fucking OG, man.
Yeah.
You made Claymores. You made Medal of Honor cat.
a
quite a
racist
bit, yeah.
cat
You made
too.
racist cat.
Yeah, I see the theme is the cat video.
You
theme
did the
here,
Looney
yeah.
Tunes crying into your hands. Sorry, Freddie.
Which turned
360
into
no
a GIF,
scope.
which turned into a GIF, which is maybe the greatest accomplishment. Of
Oh,
that
you got that
era.
on like the Tenor GIF app and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Holy
That's
shit.
awesome.
Yeah.
You did
That's that's when you know you've like made an impact on the internet is when you have
We
like
have
a
GIF.
visual that
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
The blueberry pie.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was We've done quite a bit. We've done a lot of videos on
Apologies
YouTube.
for activating you if I just.
No. Which is, I gotta say, like I look around YouTube now, and I think that era is pretty dead and gone. I mean, I think it's different.
That's
It's
a sad
different.
era.
It's different.
Absolutely. I
It's
mean, it's
different, but it's also
when you
the
think
thing that we were doing is definitely not.
Yeah, because when you think about like the route certain forms of media took on YouTube, like animation, for example, it's now like story time YouTubers and like
It had to
it's
adapt.
just
though.
like very subtle,
Yeah.
small movements of the character just sitting there. Like it's not the same.
Yeah.
Like Psychic Pebbles.
Yeah.
You're right. It
is
kind of
not
just got
doing-
like stretched, right?
Yeah,
Because
I
at
mean,
first
it-
it was like we can put all of our effort into this minute. It's going to be super
Yeah.
funny, and now it's like
Now
it's
we
gotta
can
be
put a
10.
little effort into every minute.
'Cause I mean, you
of this
remember
20.
Newgrounds, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there was some stuff on there that was like from an effort standpoint, and there was no money involved in YouTube.
Right.
You know, right?
Yeah.
Like you do a Flash video, congratulations.
Yeah, so that was like the first thing that I got into was like the stick figure animations. And
Oh,
stuff
Xiao
like
Xiao?
that.
The kung fu stick figures. On
Yeah,
Newgrounds, you
and
remember
like
that?
and
Yeah.
like
I did
the
that on the 3DS.
What was it called?
The
in
Flipnote Studio.
Flipnote Studio. Yeah.
Well, what I'm talking about is like there was this like stick figure like website where there would be these artists that they would do like the sort of like this challenge with each other where each would make an animation and then the community would vote on which one was better and then that would be like the canon character that like wins the fight. So you'd have like I'm forgetting all the names, but there was like a lot of like really iconic ones. Like there was this one green guy with like a
the
sword.
green one and the blue one.
Green,
I-
green man.
I-
Orange
yeah,
guy.
This is the best
Electric
we
Man.
had back then on the internet, right?
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was
for
like
real.
we had
That's the best we had.
colored stick figures.
Yeah.
That was the-
And
I was
that-
like, I want to be like Red Stick Figure when I grow up.
It was avant-garde.
Yeah.
It was true internet cinema.
internet cinema. Yeah.
You missed that era?
I do miss that era. I think that we're in such a weird time. Like I want to ask you about like some Twitch stuff because like I think it's such a race to the limits of what a single human being can do, if that makes sense. Because when I always remember because when Twitch first started, people were like, oh, you guys should get on Twitch. And I was like, I don't want to. Like, I already spend all this time
Yeah.
doing these videos. And the idea that like not only like if I spend a bunch of time on a video and I put it up, it's up and people can watch it and people can see
Yeah.
it later. Like, like being in high school, that's out there, right?
Yeah.
And we keep finding, new people find it as time goes on,
Yeah.
which is really cool and really gratifying.
Right.
I can't imagine the sort of like 24-hour news network game that Twitch is, where it's like you need to get on, you need to occupy this one. Because I remember when we were coming up, people were jockeying for position, but it was like it's fine. There's just like you don't have to worry, but you can put a video out and then like if someone doesn't see it on the day it puts out, fine, they'll see it the day after. It's
Right.
Yeah,
fine,
and you
who
can tweak
cares?
little things.
But
or
like
whatever.
it wasn't like, oh, like Ray William Johnson has a video out, no one's watching anything else. Like better not put a video up
Right.
Yeah.
at all,
exactly.
right? Which is when the fight that you have on Twitch, which is you're fighting for that 24 hours.
Exactly.
And that's only that's only limited. One person can only watch one thing at a time.
so
So,
mad.
so
And
you
if-
actually can take viewers from people. Whereas
Yeah.
the attitude that we had growing up was always like, it's totally cool that everybody's making stuff because I'm not taking like Mystery Guitar Man's viewers. They're just watching both of our videos. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that's such a different collaborative feeling, because then there's a reason to collaborate. Like the reason why one of the first big videos for us was we collaborated with Mystery Guitar Man. This guy named Daystorm introduced us, and we basically said to him,
Daystorm.
you
Oh
remember
my
Daystorm?
God.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, like,
Daystorm Power.
yeah, and so he introduced us, and we talked to Joe Penna, and he was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
hey, like we'll help you with one of your videos, and kick a link over, and and that was just like no problem, cool. We went and we shot it like the next
Yeah.
day, and
You guys were basically inventing collaboration like that early on, like with.
it was definitely obviously the idea of collaborating had like happened, but for
Yeah.
us when we were doing it, it's like great, we can help you out with like a video, because you're doing like 2 a week at this point, which was by the way a lot, right?
Right.
And the idea that like Ray William Johnson was doing 3 a week, that was a lot, and then we were like, we can barely
it's
just
crazy
get
how that's
one.
changed.
Still sounds like a lot. 3 a week.
When it's
That's-
one guy, right? But now everyone has like a team. And so
Yeah.
Yeah, but even but at that point, like there was never any question of like, oh, I don't want to collab with this person because they'll take my. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
Yeah.
That's not a consideration.
You're right. I know people on Twitch who are like, "Oh no, I don't want to go live right now because XQC is live or something
That's
like
insane. That's wild.
that." And the dude, his primary goal is to be live as long as he can, just to
you can't win that game.
Right.
Wow.
And so I've heard, and I wanted to ask you if you've heard this too.
Yeah.
On the DL, a lot of Twitch streamers have trouble sleeping,
Oh yeah,
falling asleep at
fucking
night.
Adderall, caffeine, like everything.
When I first started
Jesus
streaming, I remember it was when in like 2019, like the spring to the summer of 2019, when I first started actually making money off of like
Yeah.
content creation stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like streaming all the time that summer, and I was falling asleep at like 5 a.m. and waking up at like noon, maybe even 1 sometimes. And
Yeah.
it was just the weirdest. It was this-
incredibly unhealthy.
yeah.
But at the time, when this was all new and it was like very exciting because I was getting these views and stuff, I was like,
You were
fuck
doing
yeah,
good.
yeah,
You were
fuck
doing
yeah,
good.
this is
Yeah.
great.
This is success.
Like
This
no
is
school.
health, yeah.
even
Yeah.
even me, like
Yeah.
I can't stream for more than 2 hours, but
Yeah.
I try and pack as much into
Yeah,
that stream
yeah,
as
yeah.
possible, which is why I think I have a VOD channel on YouTube,
Right,
where I
right.
upload the recordings and they actually get a lot of views.
Well, because it's compact. It's actually
Yeah, because I think it's
because no one's gonna sit
kind
around.
of still suited for YouTube in a way.
Yeah,
but
'cause-
like no one's going to sit through 20 hours.
No.
of-
If someone, it's like I've always compared it to like cable news. You're never checking out what yesterday's news was,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You're just
Right.
like, well,
Right.
today's the new thing. You stick with it in that way.
But yeah, for sure. Like it's
I don't envy that
insanely-
game at
No,
all.
it's insanely unhealthy, and even me doing 2 hours a day, basically, when I was starting to do well on Twitch,
Yeah.
I would wake up. Well, actually, it was on YouTube.
Yeah,
and you know
yeah,
the
yeah.
super chats on YouTube.
Yeah,
It would
yeah.
I would have dreams.
Really?
I would have dreams, and like I'd wake up and I'd be like, "Fuck, am I live?" And I'd
Whoa.
wake up
That's
and I'd
scary,
see
dude.
I'd
Oh,
just
true. When
in the
you have
dreams
your-
I'd see the super chat
Whoa.
scrolling through, and I'd wake up and I'd be like, "Thanks for the $10." Am I?
Wow.
It was like really
So-
especially when you have your
scary.
computer in the same room that
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you're-
Well, what I did was I'd stop the stream and I'd just roll into bed, and that was it because it was right next to me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've done a little better is separating work and life. I
Yeah.
have an office now.
So
you know.
I won't name names, but I've heard from a friend who works with one of the top higher
Yeah.
tier Twitch streamers that this person they're like, yeah, I lay it after I'm done, I'll lay in bed and just stare at my ceiling for like an hour.
Oh my God.
Because they're on, and there's something about like being on in front of people
Yeah.
hypes you up or something, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can't just like fall asleep afterwards. You're just kind of like stuck in that like always on state, and you have to like calm yourself down over the course of an hour to even be able to fall asleep.
I can absolutely see that being like a thing.
Oh,
That's
yeah, no,
wild.
Especially-
I
especially
don't hear
if you
anybody
stream
talking
for
I've
about
heard
eight
stories
hours.
of that too.
Yeah.
Of the top streamers always having fucking issues sleeping. And,
That's
like, they're
wild
just
because
not
I
healthy.
do not hear this I don't hear that conversation in the wider sort of thing. But like it's one of these things I hear these whispers about where people are like, yeah, like it's everyone's kind of pushing them. It's like it's not healthy.
No,
No,
and
it's
off stream
definitely
not.
you'll hang out with some of these people and they'll just be like completely
just
it's
zomboed out.
complete zombies.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is like the thing.
Yeah,
that
Twitch
they
is
do.
definitely like an entirely like different
Totally different.
world than like being able to like take your time to make your piece of content and then and I would say that podcasting kind of feels like a mixture between what feels like Twitch streaming and what feels like video format because this isn't entirely like edited and stuff, so there is that sort of like pressure of like when you're like live,
Right.
there's always that weird thing of like trying to be choice with like your words but also trying to constantly be on and be like funny.
Yeah, and
stuff.
I will say, because because I've hung out with all manner of content creators, and it's like okay, so the Olympics are going on right now, and I've heard that if you sit in the Olympics cafeteria, you can figure out what sport someone is just like by the way they're built. Like yeah, someone has huge quads, they must be doing this, or this, right? Like whatever it is. This is a bicyclist, this is a long distance runner, that's a short distance runner. I've hung out with like pretty much every type of content creator, and like the funniest thing to me is the Twitch content creator, and it's very specific. It's like a tiny thing.
Yeah.
They like. Without realizing, you might want to hit that. Yeah. I'm not saying this is you, by the way.
No, that's his. This is his.
But you can always tell a Twitch person. Oh yeah. What is this? Oh wow. That's pungent. You can always tell a Twitch streamer because they talk. Like they'll start talking to you, and then pretty soon, like the conversational tone shifts to be like, "Who else are you?" It feels like you're talking to like you're addressing a room. Like in a very grandiose way, you know? Like, so it very quickly turns into like a conversation very quickly turns into like back and forth. And then they're just like, okay, now they're going to kind of like
just talk to,
you know, and it's like, this feels weird. I feel like I'm in an audience now all of a sudden, right? Like,
I'm like disassociating right now because I'm like, I don't want to say anything anymore.
Yeah, now I'm like, if I do that?
It's like, good point, Freddie.
Freddie, the person that I'm directly talking to right now, yes. Yeah, I'm honing in.
Anyone have anything they want to say on that?
That's interesting what you were saying earlier about.
But we don't have to talk about Twitch stuff. You guys want to just like shoot?
Well, I was very interested in talking about though what you had mentioned this briefly earlier about the difference between like the kind of content that you made with the highly produced. You've got a whole crew together. You got a budget. Types of videos where it is, you've got a whole like storyline, you've got like a kind of a setup and everything like that. Where I saw a video recently that I found very interesting that was talking about like Mr. Beast and sort of the trend that many YouTube videos that get millions and millions of views are going, where it was this concept of, in film and TV, they usually give you 2 + 2 = 4, whereas like the Mr. Beast videos, they just kind of give you 4, whereas like the video opens up and then it says why. And it says, today we're doing this, and this. This is what the video is going to be, so that they keep that retention up. Whereas like something like one of your earlier videos, like Chrono Trigger, for instance, it's like you're kind of walking down into this alleyway, and then it's like it's kind of a setup, and it's interesting how audiences have developed where that is for like, especially with YouTube's like retention. Function.
People's retention
it's
now.
It's like the content itself is that you guys make is like so good, but it's like
it's from a different era.
Yeah,
it's of a different attention span era.
Yeah.
What up, Chucklers? We're going to be talking about today's sponsors for this episode, the first of which is ShipStation.
If you're selling stuff online, you are in the right business. More and more people are buying stuff online every year, which means you're going to be shipping out more and more orders. Good thing we have ShipStation.
No matter how much you sell, ShipStation makes it easy to manage all of your orders through all of your sales channels to make a faster, easy, and more efficient shipping system.
With ShipStation, you can import orders from sales channels, ship with any carrier, and not just that, you have access to discounted shipping rates.
Hell yeah, you do. That's so fucking true.
Yeah. And you know what that means?
Yeah.
You know what that means is you can finally spend a lot less time shipping and a lot more time growing your business. Yeah.
No matter where you're selling, Amazon, Etsy, or even your own website, ShipStation funnels all of your orders into one simple interface that you can manage anywhere, even your goddamn cell phone.
You get access to amazing discounts with major carriers including UPS, FedEx, and USPS. Easily compare carriers and choose the best solution every time. With ShipStation, small businesses can now access the same rates usually reserved for Fortune 500 companies.
Take that, Bezos.
Without the contracts or the commitments.
Take that, Gates.
Now, it's no wonder with that service that they have more 5-star reviews than any other shipping software. And we ourselves use ShipStation.
Take that, Zuckerberg.
Guys, ship more in less time. Use my offer code Chuckle to get a 60-day free trial of ShipStation. That's 2 months free of no hassle, stress-free shipping. Just go to ShipStation.com, click on the microphone at the top of the page, and type in Chuckle. That's ShipStation.com. Enter offer code Chuckle.
Make
shit happen.
Make shit happen.
Did you just swear?
Our other sponsor for this episode of Chuckle Sandwich is our good and delectable funny friends at Babbel, the language learning app. Whether it's saving more or spending less, getting in shape or getting organized, there's a lot of worthwhile goals to have this year, and one of them should be learning a new language with Babbel, the language learning app that's sold more than 10 million subscriptions.
Guys, not only is learning a new language a fun and engaging new hobby, you can use it while you check off traveling more from that list of yours. The whole Babbel process is addictively fun, fast, and easy. Oh my God! Wait, you knew?
I just knew it was.
You knew it. You knew it. Babbel teaches bite-sized language lessons for real-world use.
Those lessons are only 15 minutes long, so it's the perfect way to learn any new language on the go, no matter what you're doing.
Other language learning apps use stinky, dirty, disgusting AI to create their language learning plans. But Babbel's language learning plans were created by over 100 language learning experts, which means you're getting it from the best. You're getting it from the good guys, not the evil robots that are trying to take over the world.
Not the blood bots.
Okay?
Their teaching method has been scientifically proven to be effective. With Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. Plus,
Guten Tag.
Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you to improve your pronunciation and accent. So many ways to learn with Babbel. In addition to lessons you can access, podcasts, games, videos, stories, and even live classes. Plus, comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee. Start your new language learning journey today with Babbel.
Right now, when you purchase a 3-month subscription from Babbel, you'll get an additional 3 months for free. If you know math, that's 6 months for the price of 3. Just go to Babbel.com and use promo code CHUCKLE. That's BABBEL.com using promo code CHUCKLE. Thank you to Babbel and ShipStation for sponsoring this episode, and let us get back to the episode.
No, I think so, because I think so thumbnails, like the evolution of the thumbnails has always been hilarious, because I remember there was one, if you go back, I think it was like a light bulb assassin or something like that, I think we were the first ones to exaggerate facial features.
Oh, yeah, the mouth was huge.
Yeah, the mouth was for
huge
no
on it.
reason. For no reason other than being like...
I remember that.
Yeah, so I remember we were like, I was sitting with Brandon, we were just like working on the thumbnail, and, and I was just like enlarging my mouth. It was like, it was very annoying orange like style.
Yeah.
And we were just cracking up because like, oh, if you didn't have a nose. And that was like the joke. The joke was like, how stupid can we make this thumbnail?
That was the night vision
Yes,
goggles
correct,
and
correct,
then the
correct.
huge mouth. Just
Yeah, correct.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be one of the early examples of, because that turned into a thing where people's eyeballs and it's like the arrow.
Oh, like
Well, did it
guava
work
juice.
for that?
I think it did. I mean, like it was when we were on a roll, so it was always, you could never really tell if it was like, oh, this is doing way better compared to the one thing that I do remember. Yeah, I think I even mentioned this, which was the rhythm game one that we did, which was like, wow, this one did really well for some reason.
The rocks, in real life.
Yeah,
rock star.
Yeah, had the
Rock
notes
band.
falling.
Had the nose falling
and
down,
then
and now that there's a whole,
Shit,
we missed that chance.
Yeah.
We could just start a classical piano channel. And
Yeah.
just, you know.
You definitely did try like weird things.
That was actually so that was one of the things that was always a question, because what we always, like, Brandon and I always wanted to be like, we don't want to be known as one thing, and of course we still end up being known as kind of like the action visual effects guys, but like at the time there was so many people who were just trying things until something caught. Right, I think Fine Brothers was a great example of this, where they were like, if you go back to their old stuff, like they were doing sketches, they were doing stuff with Maker, there's all kinds of wild stuff until they stumbled on
The React.
stuff.
Yeah.
At which point they were like, okay, this is then the thing that they could go for.
Yeah,
right?
and then they wanted to trademark it.
Yeah.
the word React.
That was fun.
And then there was like even like epic rap battles, right? Like
Yeah.
it didn't start out.
What did they start with?
I mean, it was a bunch of music stuff. It was like doing, at the time, it was the game of like song parodies and like covers and like all that stuff, right?
For,
There was a whole
for a
game
while,
of that.
didn't Epic Rap Battles live on Nice Peter's channel?
That's right. Yeah, because that's where it started.
Yeah.
And then the format became a thing. So then like that was kind of the beginning of like things becoming formats, right? Where it's like, we're coming out the gate, this is all you're getting. and that's that, right? And I think that it really, and again, it was a natural way of going because it's how people treated it. I remember we put up like around Halloween one year, we put up like a horror film, like a little short, and one of the comments, people like didn't like this when they went out because they were expecting something from us, right? And the comment that came out and was like, oh, this makes a lot more sense now, which was this person wrote, it's not that I don't like this, but I subscribe. It would be like if I was listening to like a jazz station and rock music came on. Like I'm listening. So it made us realize like, oh, people don't look at our channel as like, oh, these are creators. They're like, no, we look at this channel as a place to get one thing.
Right.
And that's why I go to this channel. I go to this channel to get this.
So what do you
And
think
so
is the solution for that if you're a
I
creator
think that
that wants to do?
I mean, I don't think I think that like you are, for better or worse, bound by the rules of the platforms you're on, right?
Yeah.
All the little incentives and disincentives combine and to form sort of this aggregate like implicit direction that content goes on those platforms, right?
Yeah.
And you've seen it happen on YouTube like a bunch of times, and even to the point where there was a minute where Minecraft videos start to really take off, and everybody, it was just starting to dominate the YouTube front page.
Yeah, like
And then-
2011 is that what you're talking about?
around then, yeah, and then after a minute, it was just like gone, no more Minecraft videos.
Yeah,
right?
that's what we like to call the last phase of Minecraft, and what has happened recently, like 2020, was like the next one, in my opinion.
Now, have you heard the rumor as to why that is?
Oh.
Other than like the pandemic?
No.
Like,
Back in
people are
2011, back when 2011 went, there was a bunch of Minecraft videos. It was all over the front page, and then just like overnight, it felt like there were no more Minecraft videos on the front page. The rumor is that it was just some YouTube executive
Deep cut.
opened the front page and like, what the hell is all this video game shit? Get this off the front page. We need more. We can't just have this.
We need
dumb
more Jimmy
game.
Fallon clips.
Like, we can't have this just dumb game on. And it was just like, okay, cool. The directive from on high. So the point is that like, again, I don't know if that's true or not, but I will say it does sound. It sounds like
Susan.
stuff that you've heard happen on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, it could go in that way, right?
100%.
So it's like, yeah, I mean, so that's what YouTube wants right now.
Yeah.
Right? That when someone goes to a YouTube channel, that's what you want to get. You want to get that one thing on there. And so I don't, like, I think you have to find the format. And if you want to do something else, at least right now in the environment that's in, I think he's like, cool, if you want to do something else, start our channel.
I have probably 6 or 7 YouTube channels. I have. You should see the amount of plaques I have stacked up. I have
Plaques on plaques on plaques.
like 100K, at least 6, at least 6, and I'm working on. I'm
You should
about
ask
to
them
hit.
to combine them for you. You know what I mean?
I want the 10 million one. I'm not going to hit it anytime soon.
You
but
should be able to
that's not-
trade in.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
dude,
a
a trade
bunch of
up
them.
program.
Trade up into.
You get 2 1
How do these
mils.
add up?
That adds up to the 10 mil, dude. But I have it stresses me out so much because of how many fucking little pools I have my toes dipped in. I have the main channel. I have my old main channel where I did video essays.
Yeah, video
but
essays.
now I do more gaming
Yeah,
commentary stuff.
Do you still think about that old main channel?
Not as much as I do about my Clips channel or my VODs channel
Because they
or
do so well.
Call of Duty commentary channel
Yeah.
or my other podcast channel or this podcast channel or the highlight channel.
Yeah.
Like there's
I
just
think
so
it's
many.
I think it's one of those things where you want to try and consolidate as best you can, but I think everything on the platform side pushes you away from that.
Yeah.
Just sort of how it is at the moment.
Yeah.
And someone will come up with a way of, combining, uniting them, figuring them out, I'm sure, at some point. And then the whole algorithm will change and everyone has to come back scrambling again. It's how it's always been.
What do you think about short form stuff like TikTok?
I think I think TikTok is probably the most interesting platform right now because for a while you could very reliably be like, there's no reason for a certain type of thing to be on a platform. So what I mean by that is like you'll see a video and you'll be like, oh, this is clearly this person actually cares about this.
Right.
And Twitter, you can be like, oh wow, this person cares about this. But the problem is, clout is an incentive at this point, right? Like,
Sure.
if you here's how I know that that's true. Someone can tweet something completely false, and it's wrong, and they've been discredited and disproved. And how many times do you think they go back and they delete that tweet?
Oh, none.
Well,
Never.
yeah,
They'll
probably
never
not.
delete that.
Never
Why?
happens.
Why? They
Because
know
it's
they're
got
wrong.
so many likes, and
That's
that
'cause it's got
number looks
likes.
really
Yeah.
good.
Exactly.
And everyone's gonna forget about it.
Especially when it's
That's
a
it.
6-figure number, it's like, ooh,
And
that looks
and
real nice.
And that number makes you feel good. It makes you feel validated. So
dopamine
that's an incentive, right?
Yeah.
So
That
now
is
it's not
my
just
lie.
money. So it's not just money anymore, right?
Yeah.
So now every platform has that incentive built into it because every platform gives you that feedback from everyone else. So the thing that I like about TikTok is TikTok's no different. TikTok has that. But Twitter likes to pretend that's not there. So everyone on Twitter really is just fronting. Like I realized like this last year, where I was like, I looked at all of my friends, where I'm like, who are the smartest people I know from my whole life, like from my high school, whatever, people who are working in government, in industry, whatever, like the smartest people that I know and I trust. I looked at all of them. I'm like, none of them use Twitter. And so then I looked at Twitter and I'm like, this person says, this expert says, I'm like, these people actually are clowns. I don't believe a single one of them, because you know what? If you were good at your job and your job doesn't involve Twitter or being forward facing in that way, you wouldn't be on Twitter. There's no good mathematicians on Twitter. There's no good engineers on Twitter. All the the really, really, really good ones are working. And
With other
working.
engineers.
They're not sitting there.
Fair.
So like at a certain point, I was just like, I'm just not listening to anybody on Twitter. Now TikTok to me is different, because TikTok, everyone knows they're there for clout. Everyone is acting like they're there for clout, and there's at the very least there's no pretense. There's no one there being like, "Hey, I just want to step up and say something. This really I think is an important thing." When you really look at it, you're like, "Is this an important thing, or are you chasing clout?" Right? You're never quite sure on other platforms, but TikTok is like, I know what you want. I'm trying to get as many views on this damn thing as I want, and that's my sole goal. I'm like, okay, at least we can start at that baseline level.
Yeah,
we're all
where
on the
like
same page.
everyone's got the
No one's
same
trying to trick
respect for each other.
Exactly. Like nobody's trying to be like, oh, this is something I really. It's like, no. I know if you're on TikTok, you're here for clout.
It's like all walking into a room and just like the cloud auditions, and everyone looks at each other and they're like,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Everyone knows.
Well, I mean, it's so easy to get it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like you have the most
that's
opportunity to get big on TikTok.
That's one of the
out
interesting
anywhere.
things about TikTok too, is just the way that the algorithm works or something.
Yes.
It just feels like followers can be gained very, very
What I like about
easily.
the philosophy of it is that it's a platform for people designed to be like, the mindset when I show up on TikTok is, all right, show me something that will make me laugh, or show me something that will entertain me, right? Which means that I'm going into it, I open that app up open-minded to looking at new things, whereas it's so easy at a certain point on YouTube, even like, for your music tastes on Twitch, you'll see the thing that you like, and then that's it. That's as far as you go.
Because it also gives you the option.
Yes.
Right? I mean, you can see the title and the thumbnail, and like that's where the war is. But on TikTok, the war is just
The war
getting
is
attention
yeah.
itself.
getting attention.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
right.
war is the attention.
There
itself.
is
need
a
to worry
little
about
bit
the
of like a
packaging.
retention aspect though, where it's like but it's weird though, because it kind of changes on what that is. Like you could do something where it's like you're silent and like looking at the camera, and then say something goofy at the end, and then that would, for some reason, whatever is in the background or whatever face you're making would capture
Or
someone's
how you
attention.
look, right? Let's be honest. How you look.
Very true. And one of the
Yeah,
interesting
it's
things I find about TikTok, though, is that it seems like a lot of different types of content can succeed more so than I think is as available on other platforms. Like I've seen a lot of people who make like sort of, and it sometimes feels like heresy in some ways, but there are people out there that like doing film-ic kind of things
there's
vertically.
a couple of people who are doing like film stuff, like short films. In fact, like I think there's more interesting short film stuff happening on TikTok than there is anywhere else right now.
Yeah,
I really like this guy, American Baron. Do you know him?
American Bear's
know him.
fantastic.
There's another guy, Last Man Stanley. He makes some stuff,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
another woman. I think Scorpio Sierra, I believe, is another person that they those three people are.
Because the
what I
fight
think
is
of.
the content itself, right? Like you have to hold someone's attention the first 4 seconds with a image, a line of dialogue, a sound, something.
Yeah.
Right? And also the fact that TikTok forces that sound on by default means that you also have that to work with as something to like grab someone's attention. So I think actually as far as all the platforms go, TikTok's the only one where I'm like, it's interesting to me, and I see talent on there developing and finding an audience in a way that I don't see in other places. I see what the talent that's finding audiences in other places are people talented at figuring out how to game a system. And it's all gaming a system. To be fair, it's all gaming a system. Right. But the system that you're gaming on TikTok is individual attention. It's at that level, as opposed to trying to figure out what it is about. Oh, is YouTube? Was it 15 minutes? Like,
Does that give
ingredients
you
in the pie,
like hope then in some aspects? Because it sounds like you're generally disappointed with like the way that like YouTube and that system has gone. So with TikTok,
I don't know where it goes, because you gotta remember when we started YouTube, nobody who started on YouTube of my era grew up with YouTube. We grew up with movies. We grew up with TV shows. So that was what we were thinking about. That's like, for when we look at our stuff, it's like, what is that? It's filmmaking. That's trying to make movies, right? That's trying to make short films.
Yeah.
But then there was a point where it switched, where people then went from the people that I was meeting who were like, oh, I love your channel, because they grew up watching YouTubers, and so then they wanted to be YouTubers.
Three of us right here.
Right?
I mean,
so like there's a
crazy.
point where that switches, and so increasingly I feel more like a dinosaur, because I'm like, but I did, it's like, cool, you're big on YouTube. It's like, yeah, but that was never my goal. My goal was to make movies.
Yeah. So it's like the desire keeps getting almost filtered and like diluted.
It's
and
whatever's
changed.
around. It's
Yeah.
whatever you're cursed to grow up with, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we were cursed to grow up with you.
Yeah. Sorry.
Is that weird? Having 3 people at a table being like,
I was thinking about
we
that
used
a little.
I watched
Yeah,
you when I was
adults in their
10.
20s just like being like, wait, man, we remember this, and this. I mean, I'm
Do you
sure
wanna,
you've heard it a
do you want
lot.
to leave?
No, it's all good. The one thing that actually really cracks me up was I remember during the video game high school era, I remember so many people have come up to me and been like, dude, it was every Tuesday morning or whatever, whenever our date was. Like, I remember I would wait with my friends. We'd be at school and they would tell me these stories like that. And I was always cracking up because, like, we never saw any of that.
Sure.
What was happening on our end was us being like oftentimes
Pulling
last
your hair.
minute
Yeah.
scramble, like,
Pulling your
oh my
hair
gosh,
out.
this is not rendering fast enough. Like, I remember one time we had to upload like one of the episodes. We're like, it's too big. We're doing the math. We're like, it's too big. It's not going to process in time for tomorrow. Our internet's too slow. And it was so infuriating because we're like, oh, it would literally be faster for me to take this on a thumb drive, get on a plane to San Francisco, run into YouTube and plug it into one of their computers than it would be to me to upload it.
Yeah.
Like, and then
Yeah, how big were the files? Like, that,
like, we were doing like, I think this was, if I remember correctly, it was like 30 to 50 gigs or something at the time because we were doing 4K and stuff. It was just starting.
Sure.
But I remember our friend who worked at Riot was like, hey, we got like lightning fast internet here. So he like buzzed us into Riot for like
rushed over there with
Oh,
your
that's
drives.
awesome.
and
yeah,
stuff.
like so like
Wow.
literally I think one of the episodes of season 3 only got it out in time because we like were at Riot at like 3 a.m, like using his computer to upload that, using their internet.
awesome.
And like I remember there were times we were late too.
Right.
And then I was like, man, I feel bad for all those kids waiting because it's like they're sitting there be like, it should be 9 o'clock, it should be up. And then meanwhile we're in like Burbank, California, be like, no, it's not working.
Yeah, I
So it's
mean-
wild to think about like our story of us just being like, oh, whatever. I remember being like, whatever, it'll be half an hour late. I'm like, no, that probably ruins a bunch of kids' days. Like there were kids who had to go to class then. I was like, man, no, well. That's
yeah,
always
I think.
cracks me
I
up.
mean, but I think in general, I think whenever it came up, like once it was posted, I mean, it's like all those worries just kind of like go away because it's like, man, new
Oh no,
episodes
there's
is up.
no greater feeling than getting than the 2 hours after your video's done.
Sure, and
you
seeing all the comments.
I
and
can just relax. I don't have to do it. I
Yeah.
don't have to worry about. Oh, it's the best.
Well, now you don't have
We're-
that because then it's like, oh, this is the 10th. This is the worst video you've uploaded.
Oh yeah, are you
In the
familiar
last
with
10, this is the worst.
Yeah, are you familiar with the I don't like
The
are you-
rating
Yeah,
system.
are you
The
familiar
one
with
through
the
10.
like the rating system now on YouTube?
What is this?
Ooh.
No,
Oh,
I haven't
okay.
heard about
Big
this.
Let me break
Dude,
it down
it's
for
been so
you.
many years.
What is this?
So basically, now, as long as you have more than 10 videos on a YouTube channel, whenever you upload a new video to YouTube, YouTube on the dashboard will give you a handy little thing that ranks
Oh, okay,
that
I remember
video's.
that. I remember
oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
How long has that been around for? I mean,
That was
years.
relatively new.
Years?
That's relatively new.
yeah. And
So ranks it based on the performance of your other one. So
Just
you can be
views.
Relative.
yeah,
Just views.
Yeah, of the last 10 just in views. They
And-
recently had something where it gives you a little range that tells you if it's within the typical zone, which I suppose is a little
See, what's
helpful,
crazy
but-
is we were doing that manually.
Were you
Oh,
really?
Yeah, of course. Like
I
I don't
believe
think
that.
you can survive on any of these platforms if you don't care a little bit about your
Yeah.
numbers.
Oh,
You have
yeah.
to be a numbers
Yeah.
nerd to an extent. Like
Yeah,
you don't have to
that's
be like
true.
so crazy. Like of the two of us, Brandon was like so into that, and he would like build like these Excel sheets, and we would literally go like, okay, cool, at the 24-hour mark, where are we at compared to our previous one?
Sure.
And we'd be,
Yeah.
but here's what it would do though. For us, it was like because at the time the game was trying to get on the front page, and the front page was based only on views. So it would be something where he would
it
like
used to be
he
so
would crunch
simple.
he would crunch the numbers and be like, ooh, we're kind of slow on this one, and this other video is doing better. Switch your category so that in 24 hours when the category refreshes, then
Right.
we'd be on that category.
And tags were a bigger thing back then too, weren't they?
The category
all?
that you were under. Yeah.
Oh, so like
Wow.
straight up like entertainment or like a
Yeah,
like film
I
or
see like
What would
music
you switch
videos
it to?
trending on gaming
Yeah.
now.
What would you switch it to? Like, if it
So
wasn't
again,
performing?
this is all irrelevant now. But remember,
Yeah,
back
but
in the day,
sure.
YouTube had 8 categories, 8 things at the top. Those were
Yeah.
golden spots because that was where you could find new audience. Because that was the YouTube front page for everybody. It wasn't a algorithmically generated front page. It was here's the 8 that YouTube is doing well. That's doing well on YouTube. So if you could get on that again, right? This is the era that we grew up in, and if you could get on one of those, that's a spot on one of the most trafficked front pages in the internet.
Yeah, so
right?
you'd cycle through those 8
So
categories.
of those 8, 4 were permanent. I get this off the top of my head, but I think the 4 permanent ones were like entertainment. I forget what the other one was.
Maybe
like
science,
sports,
Education,
music.
maybe.
So there were 4 ones that were permanent.
Yeah.
and then there were the other 4 rotated through the rest of the categories.
Right.
So you would always hope to try and get that one, and that was like where the gaming of it of our era was like trying to be like, okay, cool, who's uploading on Monday? Oh, like Ray William Johnson would, and it would be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you'd be like, okay, cool. So
So you were kind of like doing that similar thing to like Twitch then, where you were like avoiding.
you were only avoiding to the extent that you would be like, cool, if we want to upload in this category on this,
Right.
we
Okay.
just will wait.
That's
but it's easy
interesting.
because you're just like, okay, cool. But because it was like every 12 hours or something like that, it would update.
Yeah.
So you just
Yeah.
like wait a little bit. But like for the most part, you would kind of just like find a
Damn,
category
yeah.
that you liked, and then you're like, cool.
So it
that
felt
works.
less like you were fighting a shadow machine.
Right.
That's what we're
Which
doing
was
now.
Well, also, you had to be one of the
Yeah, the 8 best,
biggest
the 8 biggest
videos.
viewed.
Yes,
on the-
exactly,
and
exactly.
you, I mean, where did you peak at? Like 4 or 5 top
I think
subscribed?
6 or 7 was the top.
That is insane, though.
But again, that
is like-
was easy. It was easier times, and this was again all before YouTube was like, oh, cool, we should hit up all the celebrities and use celebrities and get celebrity
Oh my
faces
God,
on
yeah.
that.
Right.
And really promoted and pushed, and it's for them, it's a flip of a switch.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was again, it's always going to be some kind of game. But the point is, I think that like I don't think you can survive unless you care about or are interested in the number side of it. And like, ooh, how is
Yeah.
this
I feel
performing?
like we've talked about it like before, previously on the podcast, where it's like I feel like every person who's involved in like content creation, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
is like generally agrees that there's a little bit of crazy in all of us that
You
like
have to be a
makes
little
it-
bit crazy.
Yeah.
And I've found everybody cheats. Everybody at some point has cheated. And when I say cheated, I mean figured out what the rules of the system are and thought, wait a minute, if we do this, we get this instead, right? And it can be
for sure.
like, i.e., you understand that you're working under a system, and you're like, oh, hold on, guys, if we, right, like it could be as simple as like, hey, if we upload on midnight, we actually show up for longer on the front page because of the way that the time, like it's all like
Right.
little
What
stuff
if
like
I
that.
subscribe to this guy and then he subscribed back? to
Or
me?
we call it sub for sub.
or when you're really really early on and commenting on videos as much as you can, and then low key maybe using a couple other accounts to like it so you could get like a higher
Yeah.
Because
Snowball
back in the
effects.
day, I mean, like when
That's-
I was
that counts.
when
That's
I was
cheating.
like 100 subscribers or something, that was like how you get people to notice your channel, other than
course.
like
Yep.
I don't know, posting on Reddit.
I remember-
or, like,
I remember-
I did Reddit.
I remember I don't remember who it was, but it was one of these like early YouTubers. What they would do is they would embed their video as a 1x1 pixel. So they take the embed
Holy
code,
shit.
and this was back when YouTube would count the embed as a view.
Yeah.
So they'd embed it on like My Chemical Romance's MySpace page, and they would put a comment on at the bottom of the thing. So then everybody who visited the My Chemical Romance MySpace page was actually giving them a view because this video is auto playing quietly. And then when the moment that their comment disappeared,
nuts,
they do it
dude.
again.
That's
is,
fucking crazy.
man.
But like that's everybody cheated.
That
man.
is-
everybody cheats, and also, and I
that
think
must develop so many views. Like that would be
that's again. This was early back when YouTube was like
but,
still counting.
That's crazy because it like goes in with
Yeah.
the My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
Wow.
People were doing this like, and I think you find that's the case with every single platform. You really dig into it. Nobody will say it. Nobody will admit to it.
Sure.
But I can because we're of an old era and I don't really give a shit anymore. But everybody does it. Everybody does it. And
Well, they
even-
do it on TikTok too. Like, have you seen that thing on TikTok where the 7-second loop?
Oh
thing?
yeah. You
Yeah.
loop in over, and yeah,
'Cause I
it's
guess-
all little tweaks to try and game the system. But I think you have to have that, And also the other side of it too is like the system counts. The system's not just online too.
Right.
Like how many of the top tier Twitch? I'll start with this. How many of the top tier Twitter users were people who were fortunate enough to be included at the beginning of Twitter? Of the list of people they recommended that you follow, right? There was a small group of people who were like,
Oh, right. When you like
when
first
you
make an
first
account.
made an account. How do you
Oh.
think it got those people? They had to ask them to be like, hey, can we put you on? Can you join our platform for it? It's like if you were lucky enough to be there. But how many Twitch people do you think? I mean, right? It know someone at Twitch. Someone at Twitch liked them. They gave them some more front page time, right? Like you've
true.
heard this story.
It's true.
That's the human element of it, but that's still the system of it. It's still
Yeah.
gaming
Twitch
a
is
system.
very still human. Like they don't have much going on in the back end. I feel like
Very barely
just-
any
it-
sort of like recommendation system at all.
it's just here's who has the most people on the site.
Yeah.
Here's the second most.
And then here are all the peasants below
Barf. Yeah.
Exactly.
scavenging like hyenas for scraps
That's
of
such
views.
to me. That's such a crazy. Because it's like winning the lottery. I would say not like obviously skill and
Yeah.
hard work, all that stuff goes into it. But just from a numbers standpoint, right? Like there's a lot of people
Saying your super
applying
chats and your
skill,
nightmares.
applying
It's a
that
doggy
too.
dog world.
Yeah, so I was like, that's not a game I would ever want to fight, man. I'm so happy that I'm very happy with the era that we were in, that we were able to find our audience there, and that I don't have to fight that game as much anymore.
Yeah. What is your situation these days? Like what?
So I podcast. I do. So Matt. Yo. This is a podcast.
This is a podcast. This is crazy that we're all here on a podcast. I don't think that's what he was hitting me about.
No.
We Matt and I directed a movie at the end of last year. We went and shot it with our own money, and we are working on it right now. Little sci-fi road trip movie. And then we're podcasting. We do a Dungeons and Dragons podcast called we do a Dungeons and Dragons podcast called Dungeons and Daddies. It's not a BDSM podcast. It is a Dungeons and Dragons podcast.
Do you say that at the beginning of every
you
episode?
You have to.
Like, welcome to Dungeons and Daddies. This is not a BDSM podcast. If you are here for that, please leave.
There's plenty of other ones, but this is not it. Yeah.
It's crazy. I've listened to so many D&D podcasts, and not yours yet. But
what? Why would this is the worst way?
So he said that before you even got here, and I was like, "That is the
no, Freddie. This is a difficult situation for me to navigate because I have a D&D podcast. We do really well on Patreon. We're making like $20,000 a month now.
Oh wow!
Okay, wow. Now you're gonna
probably a lot more. I just wanted to say, hey, it's real. It's out there. It's called Just Roll With It. We're doing like a pirate-themed campaign right now.
Oh, that's cool. I love it.
And I'm like super into it. And I always, like lately I've been listening to like NADPod. And I listen to the Adventure Zone before that.
NADPod and Taz, the kings of the genre.
Yeah, but also like Dimension 20.
Dimension 20
super into the stuff Brennan does.
Yeah.
And like the one that I have been for so long has just been like on the list was Dungeons and Daddies. And I had no fucking idea you were on there.
And then
Schlatt mentioned it today.
Up, man.
And I was like, fuck. That is the one I have.
You said you flew in from Vermont?
Yeah.
How long was that flight?
Yeah.
Why are you asking?
How long was that flight?
Funny story, actually. He missed his connection, so he had 12 hours of free time while in the airport.
And he still didn't listen to your podcast.
About 11 episodes right there.
Oh, fuck.
What is that? Almost like the whole season.
If you listen at 1.5 speed, you get halfway through the season. Damn.
Right?
Dang.
Wow. What do you have to say for yourself? You must be really embarrassed, and everyone's looking at you.
Yeah. It was actually really bad. Because
my podcast?
Wow.
No, because I didn't listen to it. But,
I'm so sorry, buddy.
No, I flew in and I flew into JFK, and I was telling these guys earlier because it sucked. I got up at like 4 a.m. to try and get here like middle of the day yesterday, so we could have some time and just mess around and maybe listen to Dungeons and Daddies, at the end of a hard day.
Yeah.
And I for sure said that. And I get to JFK, and it's like a minute before my connection. It's absolutely ridiculous. The power died on the plane. We had to switch gates. And I run over to like the gate that's connecting.
Yeah,
this is so crazy.
It sucked so bad. And the guy in front of me too, that was like next to me, is sprinting. So I'm like, okay, I'll jog.
Yeah,
right. Like by the time he's done, like I could just like waltz in and be like, hey, me too. But the situation that actually happened is he runs up and I come up too. I've got my boarding pass up. The gate is still open. And this lady there, like, lets in, like, randomly, this family runs into the door. She looks at us, and she just shuts the door. And she's like, flight's closed. And we're like, what?
I still don't understand what could
I assume
even...
it's 25 minutes, right?
What was 25 minutes?
I believe there's an FAA regulation with regards to timing for that. Like you have to close the gate at certain. I don't know if that's
really. I don't know. It was weird.
The FAA regulation.
Oh, so you're
little thing.
No.
You might not have been around. Little thing called 9/11 happened. Which, by the way, I think that
care about 9/11.
I don't know what I'm being looped into. I have no idea. I feel like all I've done is tell a story, and now I did.
Charlie, that's 2,977 dead people that you are stomping on the graves.
You know the number off the top of your head?
Every red-blooded American should know the number off the top of their head.
Okay. Wow.
But
I wish I had what you two had.
I'm sorry. That sucks, man. That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's annoying because usually they'll call. The pilot will do you a solid.
Which one are you?
The tragedy of...
I mean, we moved on, but like I'm just saying, like normally the pilot does you a solid and calls down and tells them to like.
Do you know pilots? Or are you just like saying things now?
No, I'm saying normally in this case, like pilots will do that.
Yeah.
They should be flying the plane,
I've always wanted to like I've always wanted to jump out of that little like tube and into the plane. You know what I mean?
That's why.
Like as it's pulling right away. Like I've always wanted to be like they're disconnecting the thing and they're like we're taking off, and I'm
then
like,
you're
so
like,
am I. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, they close the door before they.
Yeah, they usually do close the door and then they detach.
I feel like you
so
should've
you'll
gone up
to-
Wile E. Coyote.
So I
just
need to
kinda
like
splat
hide in
against
there
it.
preemptively, wait for everyone to get in ordinarily, and then run and jump as it's pulling away.
You should have walked up to that lady and said, "Do you know who I am? I am Charlie Slimesicle, all right? And I'm trying to get on this plane so I can watch a full series of Dungeons and Daddies."
That's what would have done
That
it. And
would've
she
done
said,
it.
and then she would have said,
Should have been a fan.
"Oh
Freddie
shit,
Wong?
I'm a fan."
Oh, wait, the
Yeah.
pilot knows Freddie.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah,
God.
you know what's good about podcasts? If you screw something up, you can re-upload it quietly. It's the best.
Oh, you're right.
You can just be like, "Oh, no, we changed it."
Just change the file.
Yep.
What's the worst
Wait,
thing you've ever
really?
screwed up? Say what it is.
Like, oh, and the audio.
Yeah,
like,
and the audio.
It's dumb, but like I
What's
think
the
it was
worst
one
thing you've ever
I think it was
said?
one episode we forgot to delete a part where you could like figure out what street someone lived on, like that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little bit of casual doxing of self.
Although what happened, because the street that we were on in L.A.
Are we talking about
the
that corridor?
Crime Alley, as we used to call it, because felt like
the parking lot, right?
It was a parking lot. It was kind of like a one-way dead end. People figured out pretty quick where that was. So there was like a minute where like I remember one time, because this is the funniest story. So it was like that place that we were in. Now Sam and Nico and folks, Quarter Digital guys who were there, like they've added air conditioning. But at the time we were dirt poor, so we didn't have air conditioning. So we would sit there and we would just be sweating our asses off, and we're like running VFX on our computers and stuff.
Right.
So it's
Oh my
hot.
Yeah.
So we were all sitting around like basically shorts and no shirt, just like pouring water on ourselves.
Holy shit.
And like this,
right next to
right
electronics.
next to electronics. And then like it was in the middle of summer, and then I remember this one time, this like we hear a knock on the door, and it's this like mom and her kid,
No.
and they're like. The kid was like, "Oh my gosh, you guys!"
You're just all drenched.
you
and we're
open
like,
up
and we're
the-
just
you
literally,
open the
and
door,
it's literally
shirtless,
four
running along, like covered in water.
It's like literally
Whoa.
4 shirtless, out of breath adult men in a room sweating, and this like
Sweating on
kid
computers.
and his mom. And one, I was like, I remember looking at the mom and be like, "What the fuck?" Like she was like, "Oh yeah, he said that you guys do YouTube videos." I'm like, "Why did you bring him here? Like what the fuck, lady? Like basics. Like like if your kid went up to you and was like, 'Hey, I want to just show up at someone's place.' Like why is there a yes happening here at any point?" But I remember,
This is just not
but I remember like,
known.
"Oh, let's give him the tour," and we were just like, "We're not putting shirts on. Like we're making this as awkward as possible because this mom needs to learn something about just bringing
So
your
you
kid."
gave a shirtless, sweaty tour
To
for
a
a child,
to a child.
and his mom through the.
It's very awkward.
I guess it would. It
I mean,
wasn't
to be
called
fair,
Rocket
to be
Jump
fair, it was just one room where it's like, "Here's where we do this stuff. Okay, here, have a shirt and please leave us alone."
yet. Sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Have a shirt.
God.
We don't need them.
We don't need them. No, he was just sweltering here. Yeah, it was just like,
Holy
it was just weird. It's just weird times.
What was the weirdest fan experience that you ever had? Was that it?
Besides
Or was-
this.
Yeah.
that
Besides
was
this right
definitely up there just because we lived on, as I said, Crime Alley.
Yeah. I
Um,
like that name
Crime
too.
Alley.
Crime Alley.
God, we've had
Was there a
nothing too wild. You know, I think
Really?
we're very fortunate in that. You know, I
Yeah.
talking to some of my friends who are YouTube types and sort of content creator types who are women. They have
Oh.
it so much worse. Like
Yeah.
in terms, I know that like. One of my friends, and again, no names, but like she was like, "Yeah, I've had to move 2 times this year." Like,
oh my god.
Jesus.
like where it's like, cool, they figured out where I lived. I have to, I guess I'm walking out on my lease.
What do people do when they figure it out?
I mean,
is it
it-
like just
I mean, like,
threats, or is it
I mean, like,
people showing up?
right? Like, most of the time, it's like innocuous. It's
Yeah.
someone who's doesn't have the social skills to realize you shouldn't be doing this,
Sure.
which means right away it's dangerous, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, if you don't know that you shouldn't be, that this
Yeah.
is creepy, then what else are you not?
Yeah. What other
into?
social cues are you missing?
Yeah. So I mean, again, I think I mean, guys are luckier in this regard, right? Like,
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
not. We've had some awkward people show up, and that's that. We at no
Sure.
point ever been like, "Oh, cool, my safety has been compromised." I've never felt
Yeah.
that, which is very, again, it's
Yeah, that's
fortunate.
good.
Yeah. You said you were interested about Twitch earlier. I will say, in that same vein, when it comes to women streamers on Twitch, I know several women Twitch streamers that know of having just straight up stalkers and
Yeah.
stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And I think
Oh,
that
yeah.
with
Yeah.
Twitch, that almost feel like it almost promotes that sort of
Because it's
sort of
asking a certain,
parasocial- yeah.
I mean,
Twitch is all about being parasocial, man.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
feel
like
You're
like
asking for a lot of
you
time.
That's the
can fucking
buzzword,
just give money
parasocial.
and then,
Yeah.
oh, hey, Freddie, thanks
yeah.
for the 10.
Yeah.
And you're like, let me do that again.
Yeah.
Let's figure out your
That felt
address.
good. Let me put that back in my
No,
notes.
I don't
and
think
take another
there's- I
snap.
don't
We're
think
supposed to
there's-
be married.
I don't think there's enough discussion about how we talk about how it's like, oh yeah, parasocial relationships are bad. It's like, yeah, every platform incentivizes it though.
Sure.
So what do you?
Of course,
So really, how bad
absolutely,
is it? If you like, clearly you're not taking it seriously, right? Like, clearly the platform's like, well, it's making us money, so we don't care. You
Yeah.
know?
And the creators feel the same exact way.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, you know, again, at the end of the day, 90 whatever a high percentage is not going to be, you know, bad, but it doesn't. It's you know, it's like it's playing Russian roulette. It's like you don't need. It takes one bad experience.
Yeah,
where
you're
you're
gonna
very
get a
bad.
weirdo.
You know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't envy you guys at all.
Here's
Oh,
something
boy.
I'm wondering, because before we started this podcast, we talked about arguing and stuff. So I'm curious,
Oh,
what
okay.
do you hate the most?
That you
Freddie.
think
Oh,
we
I
will
hate
disagree
so
with.
much. There's so much shit I hate. I
What's-
love. Okay,
as of
I
late-
love.
List them all and we'll pick.
Oh no! Here's what I'll do. Here's what I do. Because
Yeah.
I keep all my salty opinions about movies to myself because there's too many situations where it's like, hey, that you could be working with someone who worked on that, so why
no.
don't do that?
We haven't done well. Ted.
But here's where I
Maybe.
here's where I can go salt delicious.
Okay.
Video
Whoa.
game opinions, bro.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll go hard on video game opinions.
There's
Like,
actually
I'll start right
something
away.
in mind that I could bring up,
Okay,
because
let's
I
go.
remember seeing, because
let's
I
go.
follow you on Twitter.
Let's go.
You know, I don't know
Dude,
if you
he's like
follow
us.
me
He's
back,
Bring it.
but
Let's go.
I'm scared.
You trying to get a
Let's go.
follow from him? Right?
Let's go.
Maybe, I don't
What do you
know.
got?
Who knows?
What do you got?
you tweeted that you made this one tweet about, I think we talked about this on the stream, but you made this one tweet about Halo, about talking
single
about
player is stupid.
about
Halo is stupid.
the
And by the
grunts.
way,
The
Halo,
grunts
it's
in Halo.
fine for a game to be stupid. Mario is an Italian plumber that runs around with a dinosaur and punching coins. That's fine. It's stupid. It's fine. It's childish. Halo is similarly childish and pandering. Because what is more pandering than this? Like, why has Halo? Let me say this. Why has Halo worked so well for so long? Right? Halo continues to find an audience in teenagers. Why? Because it's a juvenile teenager power fantasy. You're a big, hot, tall American space marine who can't die and punches things hard, and you have a hot girlfriend that can sit in the palm of your hand that you can withdraw at any point, and just that's a teenager. That's a teenager fantasy. That's fine.
Yeah.
There's plenty of things that are childish fantasies. There's
He's an
nothing wrong with
orphan.
that.
He was adopted
Didn't
when he
have
was
that.
a child.
Didn't need to have parents. Yeah. There's plenty of stuff like that, which is fine. The difference is, my point is, everyone likes to pretend that it's not a childish fantasy. They like to think that this is high-level sci-fi storytelling. It's not. It's pandering to you. You can punch things really good in this game. You can use a grappling hook and jump really high. That's childish. It's
He's
fine.
right, you know.
It's fine.
He's right, you know.
I mean, he's making very, very good points. I mean, I did have one little.
And I would
did
say
have
this,
a
and I
period
would
of
say
time
this.
where I was very into reading through the wiki of the Halo lore.
Oh, did you
Really?
read the books? Did you read the Halo
I
books?
haven't actually really read the books.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I
All
don't
right,
know,
not that
but
hardcore of a fan.
Does his suit jerk him off? Because I've seen.
Do you think Master Chief's suit has like a little level, like a meter?
like
like a visual meter.
a visual meter?
Like a visual meter.
He definitely does. He
As
has
it-
a HUD in the
No,
video
but
game.
as it jerks him off, Ted.
Oh,
Yeah.
That
Like
shows
how
he's
close
at-
you are to
He can
climax.
see,
Yeah.
like, okay, am I about to come? Is it? Am I this close?
Yeah.
Cortana,
Like,
are
which
those
is-
my shields or is that my cum meter? Which I don't.
Yeah, depending on like how long his missions are, he has to poop. He's got to have some sort of ejection situation
Yeah.
in his suit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I mean, maybe he was genetically engineered to
To
just
not
like
poop?
And you were calling
Like,
this
maybe-
childish.
And then specifically, my point was the grunts, i.e., these little tiny
yeah.
Goblins,
aliens,
I
that
think is
goblins
what
that
they
run.
called them.
I get it that it's a humoristic element, and I also think that they are a relic of an era of game design that
Sure.
we're not in anymore. It's a holdover from this time period that had a little bit more camp, right? Like it was okay for some of these things to be a
Little
little
pastiche.
goofier. You had Jackson
We don't know
Dexter,
what
you had
alien
all
life
these.
is going to be like.
You had Crash
be little
Bandicoot.
guys.
You have, but what is the purpose of those little guys except to make little men feel strong for killing them? That's it. Right? All it is pandering to you.
That's
It's like,
true.
I'm such a tough, powerful, masculine figure that these little aliens have to run away from me.
you're coming in
it's
with all the
funny. It's like
hot takes
that's
right
a
now.
teenage. That's a teenager childish fantasy, which is fine. But
So you think that all of us deep down like want to punt kids?
Look, okay, I think that all of I think every video game panders. It has to. The genre of video games is about pandering to the player.
Sure.
So anytime it's because what is it? It's just lying to you to make you feel like you're. Again, I'm not saying all video games. Obviously, there's some games where I'm saying that in general, the AAA game only is commercially successful by stoking the ego of the player.
Sure.
Right?
I mean, yeah, it's a.
I mean, I would even go,
but it's like a tactile experience. I mean, that's where the incentive sort of rolls towards
which is fine.
Yeah,
but it's masturbation. It's you sitting there with a computer, and the computer's telling you that you're shooting really good. And I died a few times, but you're gonna beat the computer eventually because no game works unless you can't. Right?
What about the games that just kick the shit out of you?
I'm not saying all games. And by the way, I would say let's say Dark Souls. Right? Dark Souls is the quintessential example.
Is Dark Souls just edging?
But the creator of Dark Souls, Miyazaki himself, has said that he looks at Dark Souls like a sadomasochistic experience, and sadomasochism falls under the same category of it is still pleasurable, right? Which is fine.
Yeah, I don't think trying to find a word.
And there's plenty of art. Again, there's plenty of art games and stuff that are not about that.
While you're doing it,
but you like getting punched in the balls, right?
We do.
Because right, like because Dark Souls operates on a level of it's frustrating, but it's rewarding. It's still rewarding. You still beat that boss after 50 tries. You still feel you're pumping your fists. You're rewarded for it.
So we need a game
in the same way that when you get edged by a dominatrix, you get rewarded at the end eventually. That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to play Dark Souls now. I feel like I'm uncomfortable.
I'm very looking forward to Elden Ring.
So my question is then.
And all I'm saying, by the way, all of this is fine. All this is cool.
I get it. I just want to find it seems pretty airtight. I want to find little holes. What is a game that you just don't enjoy? You're never winning.
I don't think there is.
Bad.
I don't think there is. On a commercially successful level, there's been like art games that have experimented with like being actively frustrating or trying to mess with you. Yeah, exactly. Also like just throwing more out there. I think Max Payne 3 is one of the worst fucking games ever made.
I don't even think I played Max.
This is way past the era, but Max Payne 3 was garbage. It just all of Rockstar games just copy the movies that they're based off of to a flagrantly to a degree that is like copy paste. Like if you watch Man on Fire, Tony Scott's Man on Fire, and then played Max Payne 3, you'd be like, Max Payne 3 is a bad fan fiction of this much better movie. But then everyone's like, Max Payne 3 is one of the greatest games. It's just like, what are you talking about? I remember this movie. Anyway, name a game. Name a game.
Well,
I will give you a salty take.
Within like the Rockstar zone, I would say, and you're talking about sort of the masturbatory aspect of games is, I mean, GTA itself is just like a pretty
wish fulfillment, man.
Yeah, that's like a summary of just like I want to go around and drive through a crowd of people if I just so want to, and then run away from the cops and then shoot some cops. I mean,
nothing wrong. Again, like I said, it's fun. That's the thing, though. It's fun. It's a fantasy.
It's fun. I mean, but
all right, what's the game that you like that I can shit on?
I really love DayZ.
Wait, what era of DayZ? Now DayZ. I haven't played Now DayZ.
I gotta be with you on that one.
I've loved it since Standalone came out.
Really since Standalone. Yeah. I remember playing early, back when it was still the mod.
Yeah.
And I remember just being drawn into. I actually really like that slow style of gameplay because what it is it's about taking. It's about changing the stakes as you understand that on a first-person shooter, right? Because most of the time in Call of Duty, it's like, see a guy, kill a guy, right?
Yeah, and then respawn immediately.
At no point in any of these games has it ever been, see a guy, wait. Do we want to shoot this guy right now? Like, you've never had that decision making.
Yeah.
But in order to have that, you need what? Huge environments. You need those encounters to be sparse. Right? There's a lot of other things that need to go into it for that to be an interesting decision.
Or like in the context of like a story-driven game, like a Telltale game or something like that, where they're like, it's
but
very
even then,
clear.
that's just handing it to you. It's like,
where
choice,
that's like, do this or do that.
You get to pick.
Yeah,
right?
no, it is very like, it's like a sandbox thing that kind of, and especially with the focus of like the good loot and like the city centers and stuff, it's like a very specific kind of drawing.
No, I think some of my favorite experiences have been in DayZ, where just like stalking someone over the course of like hours.
Yes,
it's the kind of thing that you don't get in other games,
yeah.
right? And as I've gotten older, I found more and more that those types of things are the things, like, it's what video games can do that no other medium can do, right?
Sure.
Like there's no equivalent experience in a book or a movie of like is someone following us? Like, and
I
then
can't stalk a guy for 12 hours.
You can't
right?
stalk in real life. Yeah.
Well, you could definitely stalk someone in real life for 12 hours.
Mm-hmm. See, I guess I'm not gonna go against you on that. I think don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's a garbage game. The mechanics are terrible. It's bug ridden. They're just trying to string you out for your money as long as they can. But I have many fond memories in DayZ. Here's what I was saying. Here's what I was saying. PUBG. I realize now that I didn't know how good we had it when we had PUBG, because one thing that PUBG did that no other battle royale game has done was it was a chat room. My fondest memories in PUBG were dropping in somewhere, getting in the car with my buds. Everyone's hanging out in the house, and we have it locked down, and we're just shooting the shit.
Yeah.
40 minutes is the length. And then every developer then saw PUBG, and they said, 40 minutes is too long. We need to make the games last 20 minutes.
Right.
Apex, Fortnite, all those, and it's about the gunplay. I'm like, no. Because PUBG was a game that I could go to the bathroom in the middle of a round and okay, right? You could be fine.
Right.
You hang out, and I was like, man, that was like, I felt like I hung out with the friends that I played PUBG with. I hung out with them more during PUBG in that universe than I did outside of it. And I was like,
and then you were all masturbating.
And then we all just like just edging each other.
Just edging each other
Then
off.
Apex came out, and I was like, cool, here's the new one. We played it, and we all dropped off of it fast because we're like, at a certain point, we're like, oh, it's about it's just stress. It's just high. It's just this intense the whole time. Whereas PUBG was like, I love games that can go here, and then you're just like, you know what? That was one of the most memorable rounds I've had were ones where it was like 40 minutes where almost nothing happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Honestly, that's a great point.
I love that.
It actually has kind of revealed to me why PUBG was the only one I fucking touched.
Yeah. I played Fortnite once.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel bad because we've got Mr. Fortnite Friday in the room here. But I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, I definitely agree with that sort of like bit of slower, especially when it's
game.
Yeah, especially when it's within
it was kind of like
that sort of Arma is like slightly like the Arma weird like tactical kind of like moving. Let's move each part of the
18
body.
levels of height. Yeah.
Dude, I fucking suck at PUBG. I never won a single game.
But here's the thing though. It was okay if you sucked, right? I remember our group, we would have like, 2 or 3 people, they'd be like high and not really playing, but it was still entertaining.
Yeah.
And it was still funny because they'd be like, yo, am I driving? Like, just all the little tiny games that you managed to play
or just
for
hitting
yourself.
a rock and flipping 100 times.
And that was hilarious. And like, I was like, I really, if I had known, and I had put like 400 hours in the PUBG, which is not a lot, but like for me, a lot into a game. I was like, man, if I had known that was going to be the peak hangout game, I would have played it more.
Have you played Project Zomboid at all at any point?
I have. I can't get enough people to come in with me on it.
Yeah, no, they just made it multiplayer, and I've been playing with a bunch of guys occasionally, and it's exactly that. Like, you just find a house, and
it's
you
a
just
hangout
talk.
game.
You're like, guys, I found a frying pan. You're like, fucking awesome, man. That is sick. Other guy's like, dude, I found bleach. What does this do?
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
Yeah.
You're dead.
You remember, I love those games. Those are my favorite game experiences.
It's so much fun because it's a slow burn too.
It's a slow burn. You don't have to be torqued the whole time.
No, but occasionally something will happen and go wrong.
Yeah, and I think a lot of games actually. Yeah, exactly. And I think most games actually are just. Everyone made the decision to be like, okay, we gotta just turn up all the exciting parts to 11. It's like, no.
We gotta make the game more game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that people miss that's like, no. PUBG was great because it was half of it was not. Yeah, half of it was just fucking around. Yeah. See, those are the good times.
We're onto something here.
The reason why I got back into DayZ recently was because Schlatt introduced me to the Namalsk mod.
Namalsk is so good. Dude, I'm telling you, DayZ would be if there was no workshop content for DayZ, it would be dead.
Oh, interesting. So you have to go to the
mods have kept it alive.
Well, because you were telling me when you first introduced me to it, you were like, DayZ has the most viewers that it had since the standalone launched. Because
more
it was
people are playing DayZ than ever before.
Yeah,
really?
because Namalsk it's basically like this northern like Arctic Soviet island.
It's an Arctic archipelago almost. There's like different islands,
and it's small.
There's pinch points where you have to like go down, and then it's really tense, and that's where the good shit is.
Okay,
and you all spawn. Everyone spawns in the north, and you have to make your way down. There's one big city in the north.
You also have to keep yourself warm. You have to you find food, and
food
it's
is
like
frozen.
cold.
You need to make fires. You have to like collaborate.
Okay, are you guys playing this? Because if I can't join your group,
dude.
can't join your group.
I've been telling him that he wants to stream it. I've been telling him I want to play Namalsk again. Like, if you're down, we will bring you in and like
I'll do it. I love this.
And one thing. there's these outposts that are out on it's an island, but then there's also an ice sheet around it. So you have to swim through the water, like then dry yourself off, and then travel across the ice sheet.
Wring out your clothes.
To like
I love it.
this. And oh man,
oh yeah, no.
What are those things called too? The killer monster things.
The killer monster.
The
zombies.
You know,
the zombies.
The
zombies in
zombie
DayZ.
game.
It's a zombie game.
Z.
Z.
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking about that one server that I played on that had like an added.
No, you were
additional
playing a
Z
fucking
stands for.
Pokemon modded DayZ server.
that's what no.
Magical
It was
creatures
just
in that one.
it was just added like a harder zombie and like out in those outposts or something. But what makes those outposts really really hard is because it has like level 5 gear or something like that.
That's where you have to go like you have to do these
you have to be really
huge
careful.
treks where you need a compass to tell exactly where you're fucking going.
That's what I want.
And
that's
it's
what I
it's
want.
like 15 minutes of just running.
Yes.
Holy shit.
And then sometimes there's a storm too.
Yeah, sometimes there's a storm.
There's
You can't
ice
see
storms.
shit.
See, this is good. This is the kind of shit I like.
man.
Yeah.
This is the kind of
Dude,
shit I like.
the modded content has kept that game alive.
You know what? So you know what I played recently that I was like just so into was I played Counter-Strike again for the first time in maybe a decade. And what it was after coming back to, the most tuned game like ever, right?
Of course.
It was just like, ooh, this feels good. It was like wrapping yourself up in an old blanket, just like an old friend.
I
Yeah.
have so many skins in that game. I don't even think about anything else. I just think about, what about that M4A1S Knight skin I have?
I could never figure out like Counter-Strike in terms of
The gameplay?
I tried once. man.
You basically have to memorize the map and like the way that you go around corners and stuff. I just
You
never
have to memorize the way you pull the mouse down once you start shooting.
Yeah.
It feels like
got
you
a
need a
pattern.
base.
Like the
first,
AK-47
and
goes
then,
in
like,
an
you
L
go
or
yourself.
something like that, or something. Like I could never really.
It's very different.
It
It's
seemed like a
unlike
big time
any other
sink too to
first
be able
person.
to learn
Which is
that.
honestly, and as more time has gone on, and as more like Call of Duty has kind of become like the baseline that everyone copies, it becomes like that much more interesting to me because
Yeah.
it represents like a totally thing where it's like, yeah, if you move, you're more inaccurate, like really basic stuff like that. We're like, well, that's weird that no game bothers with that ever anymore now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just like all those things, all those games of that era, like man, there's good stuff there.
If we right now
Yeah.
could just go into the middle of the wilderness with no, hear me out. Hear me
can't.
No,
out.
I am.
Hear me
I
out.
am. I'm excited now.
Clothes gone, all
Clothes
food
none, yeah.
frozen,
Sweating.
When we die, we come back here. Would you enjoy it?
Wait,
you know what I mean?
well, can you repeat this?
Okay,
This is a
okay.
very
Something-
strange
Respawn at this table again,
Yeah.
but right now we're just like,
Wait,
all right,
so
we're going
if
out.
you're
But
telling-
right now
saying-
we get naked in the woods.
So you're asking? Are you trying
But,
to
like,
have
a
some
different-
sort of like
No, I'm
woods?
just saying, like this whole experience, right? It just
The
seems like-
survival
Yeah, the
experience.
survival experience. Like, what if you could just do the survival
Everybody
experience?
secretly thinks that they would be like, I could start a fucking fire.
Yeah, but in this
like,
case,
like watch.
there's
I
like
could
no
build a
repercussions.
lean-to. I could build a lean-to.
I mean, like I'm an Eagle Scout, and I think I would survive. Like,
You're an Eagle Scout.
Yeah, I am. But I don't like. I still think I'd beef it. You know what I mean?
the Boy Scouts sell popcorn, so like,
I think
like,
You've never seen a Boy Scout come to your house and be like, "Hey, you want this flint and steel?"
like,
You want
like nobody, no.
yeah, popcorn or the fire starter. Pick one. Yeah.
it's always the fucking popcorn.
I know.
I mean, it's fucking
It never
sucks.
does.
No,
It's like
it's not.
Yeah,
like
it's-
everyone's
no,
like,
it's
no,
not.
where's
Well, you
the
don't
Girl
just get
Scouts? I
the-
want to
you
buy the
gotta get
fucking. I want some Samoas. Like,
All right,
give me a
well,
break.
I
Yo, you
don't
see that
know.
new Girl
Honestly,
Scout cookie though?
Yeah, the Girl Scout.
Oh, yeah, the
Girl
caramel
Scouts
one?
have it
Yeah.
on lock, and the Boy Scouts just don't know
No
what's going
idea
on.
what to
Sell
do.
fucking popcorn. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Popcorn, that's the
Yeah.
best you
Should play it.
got.
I
Tie
remember-
knots and sell popcorn. Girl Scouts, meanwhile, are
I can't even- I
redefining
can't even tie
industries.
knots very well, so I'm just-
You can't even tie knots.
No,
All
so
you
I'm
got
just
is the
selling popcorn.
Wait, you can't even tie knots and you're an Eagle Scout?
Yeah.
What was the point?
I think I just forgot them all. I don't know. That's why I'm saying, like, I feel like I'd last a day, but I'd still
Jeez.
do it.
That was
Also,
a
the
waste.
biggest-
You know that if you can't even remember knots from being an Eagle Scout, you've wasted your time.
How do you feel about the Boy Scouts renaming themselves to the Scouts just to fucking mess with the Girl Scouts? Just
I
be
feel
like,
like
"We're
you
the
guys have
Scouts now."
taken my hypothetical, you eat it, and now you're just beating the shit out of it. I don't even know
I
what's
think we're
going
just
on.
going after the Scouts. of
I assume
America
you'd
now.
actually do
Yeah.
okay as you'd probably draw upon your Eagle Scout skills. You'd probably start a
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah. If you see a black bear, what do you do? 'Cause I don't
Black
remember.
bear. Black bears are the ones that are not bad.
Yeah,
go-
you
go
yell.
at
You
them,
raise your
yell
arms
at
up in
them.
the air.
Yeah,
and
big
you
and
yell.
You get
huge.
big?
Yeah.
Okay, brown bear. What do you do for brown bear?
Oh, you
run.
you
You're fucked.
you
You're
keep
fucked.
eye
You're already dead.
contact with
You're
it.
already
You
dead.
back away slowly.
How close
you don't
are
turn
you?
your back.
You're
to it.
already
Yeah,
dead.
and then grizzly bear.
You draw your
Well, it's the same
357.
thing, right? Same thing.
One of them you play dead for.
Grizzly bear?
Well,
grizzly bear will just eat
grizzly
you dead.
bear. You.
I think it's the one that just kills you.
Yeah.
I think brown bear you play dead. One of them loses interest. I don't know. I probably don't want to get it mixed up.
I think that with both.
You
the
Google if
brown
there's
bear
bears
and the
around, and if
grizzly
there
bear,
are, you
they
don't
not
go
gonna lose
there.
interest.
You see a bear, you say, "Hold on a second, brown bear. What do?" I don't
You
know.
carry large gun. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Isn't the answer to all of these carry a large gun?
Yes.
That-
If you see
I
a black
guess so.
bear, have a gun.
The buffalo rifle from.
Yeah,
You need a
like,
big-
like
you
a
need a big
pirate
gun.
blunderbuss. You know what I mean?
Holy shit!
Like you put
Yeah, like it's got,
forks
like, the
and
flared
stuff. Yeah,
thing
yeah,
and
yeah. It's like
everything.
looks like a trumpet.
I only go hiking with an RPG.
Straight up though, if
Just
you had
in
a friend
case.
who like hiked with a pirate blunderbuss, you know this dude fucking rules.
Yeah, just packing.
I would be so genuinely worried.
Straight up a
All the
mountain
time.
man. You know what
Because
I mean?
like it's not like he's gonna load it when he sees a bear because it takes so long. So I'd
With
be
a
like,
black powder.
it's just loaded now.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what's gonna happen.
That's a wild energy.
That's true.
Blunderbuss energy.
We should get one.
A blunderbuss
Yeah,
for
what if we
the
got one?
studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in case.
Where
Just make, like, a
where are you
video.
gonna get that?
I don't know.
I bet you if you Googled right now, blunderbuss purchase America, the first
Blunderbuss
three
near
links.
me. I,
Hot blunderbusses in my area.
My problem is I feel like if I saw one bear and I had a blunderbuss, I would want to wait until a second bear also like showed up because I've just got such a good spread. Do you know what I mean?
Honestly,
wanna-
It's like
wanna-
training in zombies. You just walk the same circle. You wait
Yeah,
for
you
more
wanna
to
wait
get,
for
and then once you got
multiple.
them in a line.
Yeah, like a bear shows up and you're like, just you? Really?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
We had a bit of a phase with the zombies too for a while. I know
We
this
did
is
play
Call of Duty
Zombies
Zombies.
forever.
I never got into
Duty
Call of
is
Duty
good
Zombies.
Yeah.
I know it's. I know it's. I remember like feeling the most like out of like I am not part of this. Was like I remember the new Call, some of the newer Call of Duties
Yeah.
I loaded up, and it was like this whole cutscene and all these characters that are clearly from.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
going
what is the
on?
Aether, guys?
I have no idea.
Because it's as bad when you're
It's
playing
like
with them.
It's like escape room lore at this point.
really
Completely
is.
nonsensical.
I'll tell you, the most fun I ever had playing zombies was
Holy shit,
was
it's Esmeralda.
It was Transit, Black Ops 2.
Mm.
The bus level where everyone gets on a bus
There's
and
the
just
little
goes
apes
to different
that come
places.
in at you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then sometimes you get left, sometimes you're split apart, sometimes like a lot of downtime. And I think that's the
Oh.
thing. I think that's the thing.
Games should build more downtime into the multiplayer experience, in my opinion.
man.
Yeah, we just
Zombies.
want things to be more boring, is what it
Yeah.
sounds like.
Yes, no, because you can because
You make your own fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's too many opportunities. Honestly, I think that right, like if you think about like where are games getting sold right now, it's streamers, right?
Yeah.
As a
Yeah.
marketing standpoint. Streamers that can't talk. If it's a game that you can't talk over, and it's just the game. That's not going to be as appealing to someone as opposed to someone who can, like, right? If you're a streamer and you're like, cool, this is such an intense game that I just have to focus on it the whole time. That's less entertaining inherently.
Yeah, it's stressful to do.
Stressful.
I just did a big like playthrough on my second channel, which is I call it Slimcicle. It's just Slimecicle but without the vowels. And
Don't give out all your secrets.
yeah, no, I'm planning on making IE soon, but no, I did a playthrough of Dying Light 2 because I really liked the first one and I loved the gameplay, right? But like as soon as it got into a cutscene, like it just kept going and going,
Oh, yeah.
and I was like, all right, guys, let's do a funny. There's another guy I gotta talk to.
Yeah, like once you go up to a door and then all of a sudden, oh, I've lost control of my body. And
Yeah,
now
you go to
they're
the door and he
just-
opens it different.
And now
I'm
they're
like,
just
well,
going to.
I saw my hand that time.
Yeah,
Okay,
now they're just
here we
going to
go.
talk
He looked
exposition
down
for
when he
another
opened it.
2 minutes.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, dude.
This door's
You know-
a cutscene,
you know the duck.
oh boy.
Yeah, and it was really really difficult. You know, are you a big like sandbox game guy because of it?
I never really got in because a lot of times just I think the time it takes to learn, like Gary's mod and talking about stuff like that.
No, just like I don't know, like open
Like
world,
Roblox?
sort of like survival. Yeah, Roblox.
Love Roblox, bro.
No, I don't
You a
know.
Roblox
like,
guy?
Off the top
Roblox
of my
guy?
head, like stuff like the forest, where it's like you get in with
Oh
friends, you
yeah,
just fuck
yeah.
around.
To me, half of them, most of them are just like not. It's such a difficult balance for me because so many of them are like because they're trying to introduce you to like there's a crafting system and here's your health and here's your stamina, heat. Better look out. Like
very
and it feels like if you don't, it's like
redundant,
I
yeah.
just hate sitting through it. Like nothing pisses me off more in games now than being like first person shooter. Here we go. Better duck under something. Looks like we got to jump over something. Like it's like
Yeah.
every first person shooter starts
Yeah.
with something that you need to duck under because they need to teach you how to crouch.
Yep.
And they'll be like literally if every movie started and they're like, now when it cuts, this means that this person's looking at it. Like if they had to teach you the rules of it every single time, like at some point,
Yeah.
right? Will we ever get past how to run, how to duck, and how to jump over how to crouch under a thing and how to vault over a waist high thing or jump over a waist high thing.
Well,
I wanted to start a Twitter account that was just the time it takes for each game for that moment to happen. Like the moment there's like, here's the thing you have to crouch under. Time to crouch, right?
How long does it take to crouch?
How long does it take? It's like, ooh, Halo, 33 seconds, and we're already having to crouch under thing.
When's
so
the last
true.
time
That
you
was
played?
really early in Halo when they showed you that, and then do it in Halo Infinite. Yeah.
Yeah. When's the last time you played a video game with someone that is completely like illiterate to video games? Because it is like an eye-opening experience.
It's been a long time. I remember people were when Portal first came out. They're like, "This is a game that you could play if you haven't played video games." I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like so
not.
many little things. Like, I mean, I played, I forget what, like It Takes Two with my girlfriend. Awesome game. But stuff like moving and like moving the camera at the same time.
Yeah,
you don't do that naturally.
Yeah, that's not
and like
natural.
To me, it's like just look.
Second nature,
with
but
your
it's
eyes.
not. But it really isn't.
Yeah, right. And it's like I've got 2 sticks. What the hell? And I gotta jump? No way, dude.
Yeah.
So it's like
okay.
So it's like I get why it exists, but also it's usually like here's your tutorial, crouch, jump. Here's 10 guys, figure it out. So it's like I don't know. It's a weird.
It's
medium.
just wild to me that like we're still like in our year of our Lord 2022 still needing to learn how to crouch under something, like just in case.
Yeah.
Just make sure you got it.
Just in case you got those motor skills.
What you think about Minecraft?
I loved Minecraft. I was on Minecraft.
What happened?
What happened?
All my friends
You broke up with Minecraft?
Minecraft is a social game, right? Like it was more fun with a bunch of people.
played
If all your friends move on, then you move on too, right?
Yeah, I still have that like once yearly urge, and then all my friends we
Every new update?
yeah, well, pretty much. I mean, like we'll go in, we'll be like, yeah, this is the one, and then a week later, like
I have that
we
too.
have all these great buildings, and we're like, all right, that's it.
Yeah.
I'll like get up with a bunch of my friends. I was like, hey, let's all pick mods that look funny, not tell each other what they are. Get in a server and see what happens.
Oh, that's funny.
It's like, I was doing some fucking like blood magic right away. They were like, what the hell is going
Oh,
on?
that's
Siren Head
fun.
walks out of the forest. Like,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but again,
I think the last game that had that for us was Valheim. A bunch of my buddies got super into Valheim up until like one of the bosses, and then the scaling was weird. So we're like, all right, we're done.
Okay, what the hell I never understood what made Valheim special to people because I played
think
it and
was
didn't do it.
I think it was because one, the aesthetic was cool, right? It was a different and new kind of cool aesthetic, which was like a PS1 polygonal graphics aesthetic with good lighting. So it still looked very beautiful, and was pretty low on the system, relatively low on the system requirements. I think to me, what really hit it was I thought the building was just complicated enough, but also just simple enough that you could kind of come up with something and then like put it together. So like you could build cool buildings without really, because like some games it's like it gets into like I think Minecraft is almost at that point now where it's like here's all the half block types and here's all the reverse
I don't know
stairs
any of
and all
the new
that
shit.
stuff.
Minecraft
That's
confuses
true.
the hell out of me.
Yeah, but like
And
with this one,
overstimulation.
you
You
definitely
have more fun in those games when you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
yeah.
Like once you
when you
get in,
that feeling when you first play Minecraft, I
first
feel like
play Minecraft
everyone
and the
has
music
that.
comes in and you're
Yeah.
like, holy shit, how do I make
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
and
You have
that
to look on
actually,
the wiki, man.
you know what that actually reminds me of? Also,
What?
speaking of Minecraft, I remember when
I'll
I
just tell you all
didn't
those things.
understand Minecraft and I first saw that video that you guys made.
I think it was
that
Corridor actually.
With the one where the inventory is filled with diamonds, and then you
That's
got killed by
Corridor.
the creeper. Oh, was that Corridor?
Or no, that
was where Heldine.
Yeah,
did the
that's right.
machine gun
Yeah.
on all the creepers.
The creeper
right?
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
She lost her all the diamonds.
Yeah, that's right.
And I remember going back to that
Oh,
video,
God,
and then
the fucking mouth. I just remembered that you had the camera go into her throat. What the fuck, man?
I just remember like going back to that and being like how ridiculous it was that you had like a completely full inventory with like diamonds, and like when I first saw it, I hadn't played Minecraft before, so I didn't understand what that like how ridiculous that was at the time. Oh,
Yeah.
Can I top you off?
Yeah, top me up, bro.
I feel like we need to get mad about something.
Let's get
I
mad
feel like
about
we've been like a little
Yeah.
too comfortable,
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
too buddy-buddy.
All right.
so
Oh man, what is
here's a
this
question. Here's a question we usually ask our guests like at the beginning of the podcast, but we forgot to ask it because we were
looking for?
just it was flowing so well.
Oh, this is good if you want to get mad. Yeah.
What is this?
Dude, calm down.
Schlatt is busting out something
Is this
special right
protein
now.
powder, bro?
No.
We're getting
Oh,
yoked.
it's better. Protein powder is a little too thin for this.
Yeah, we're busting out something thick for you.
So this is Walgreens brand.
Thick.
Now.
We're about to make you some, a
weird.
little bit
Here.
of thick water,
I hear it
perhaps.
makes you makes you thick.
This is thick water.
You ever drank thick water?
I've
before,
never
Freddie?
drank thick water
Oh man,
before.
this will be a time for you.
While Schlatt is preparing this,
Yeah,
although I might ask you a question that.
Oh my gosh,
Well, actually,
that's too much powder for.
You know the ingredients.
What? Let me see
Charlie?
the ingredients. Can I see the ingredients?
Yeah,
What
of
is
course.
this?
What actually is in it? Do you have any allergies?
Oh, it's food
Charles?
starch.
Are you asking me about the question?
The question that
Oh,
you
the
usually
question.
ask.
The question. Freddie, we have to ask you a question.
Okay. All right.
So, we're
Should I
here.
stop?
No,
No,
keep
just keep
stirring.
going.
It's
Keep
good.
stirring
I like
that.
it. I want you to look at that while I'm asking
Oh
you to.
God. Okay. Yeah.
There you go. Make sure he
Yeah.
gets all that.
Yeah.
Feel
All right,
yourself
question.
getting thicker and thicker.
It's not enough water. It's like definitely one.
I agree. You need a little more of the thick now.
Yeah, we might need
I
some
think
more
you need
thickness.
a little more because
Can
it's
we
kind of
add
thin.
a little bit? Because I think
So
this
here
is too
on
thick.
Chuckle Sandwich.
It's too thick.
I think it's too thick. I had a little bit.
I've
too
never
much.
actually heard you say
You can
that
choose
before.
between nectar consistency, honey
There's some- a little bit of
consistency,
water
and
left.
I don't wanna, like-
custard
Is there more in
consistency.
that?
Ugh.
No.
Oh.
Can we get some
We
more?
need some more
We
water.
need some
on
more
set.
water on the set. He's drying up. Here on the Chuckle Sandwich, we each have respective parts of the sandwich that we are. And to be honest, it's been a long time since we've said them, so I might need a refresh.
Wait, am I the meat?
I think I was the meat last time.
You're the meat.
I'm the meat.
You're the mayo.
I'm the mayo.
I'm the
Mayo.
butt pieces of bread
What pieces of bread?
The butt pieces of bread.
that holds it all together.
Oh, big win.
Oh,
Big
man.
win.
Big win. Spring water.
Freddie, if
So-
you had to say what
What
part of the
piece of the
sandwich,
sandwich am
you
I?
are, what would you say? And keep looking at the thick
Oh
water.
my
Don't look away
God.
from the thick water.
Oh,
It's only going to get
it's tough
thicker.
to run the knife through it to stir it.
There you go.
I sense some
Stuck
resistance.
in there.
Let me know
There's
if you get sore and you need to switch off. Too.
Oh, dude. Oh,
Oh.
Yeah.
forearm workout from that.
What part of the sandwich am I?
Yeah, part of the sandwich.
Gosh, I feel like I'm the triangle cut.
Does that smell thick?
You're the triangle
The
cut.
You're the
Oh, that is.
wow.
We've never, I don't think we've ever heard anything like that before.
So you're trying to break us apart then.
Yeah, exactly.
Take a sip, Freddie.
God, that's so weird. That's so bizarre.
It's just water.
I know. And
What's
starch.
so weird about it?
It's thick. Mostly it's thick. It looks like a bunch of.
What does it make you think of?
I mean, I'm not gonna say it.
What
but
emotions are running through your mind right now as you?
There's a clear, milky white liquid that is a little
does
thick.
that remind you of like anything in particular, or is
No, not really. I don't. Yeah, nothing springs to mind.
Nothing.
maybe take another sip.
That'll remind you.
Yeah, I'll say that as a part of the sandwich.
That's smart.
That's crazy. We've never had anyone alter the sandwich like that.
Yeah, it was sort of a presentation.
I'm gonna break you all
kind of thing.
apart.
It's thinking
We're
outside the
fucked
box,
up.
Freddie. I
Yeah.
have one more question for you.
Okay.
Can I? Do you mind if I have it?
Do you want some of the thick water?
That's
Oh, this isn't nearly as thick. I shouldn't have even added the extra water, dude. This is totally manageable.
Really?
Oh, of course.
Is of
yeah.
a manageable thickness.
Yeah, it's the kind that we normally get has generally like a nectar consistency.
It's like syrup.
It's almost
syrup.
syrupy. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
get like swallow globs.
Globs.
Of it. Yeah.
It's bad.
All right, but hey, listen. Let's
Ugh.
cut the shit. Let's
Okay.
cut the chit chat. We have the most important question now.
All right.
You like video games? We spent the whole podcast talking about video games, pretty
yeah.
much. Would
Yeah.
you rather have unlimited bacon,
Oh, that
But-
does sound good.
no more video games,
Okay.
or
Okay.
would you rather have games,
But
unlimited games,
that's it. But
What else?
but no games? What do you,
Freddie, what's so funny? Answer the
Games,
question.
Freddie?
man.
What's going on? Freddie,
Answer
what's
the
going
question. Freddie.
Unlimited bacon
on? Okay.
No,
you
but
want me
no
to,
more
do you want me to?
games.
You can ask it again.
Unlimited
down
games, but no more video
No,
games.
no games.
Freddie,
What happened to the green glasses, by the way, man? You turned blue on
I think
us.
they're in my car somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was thinking getting LASIK. That was gonna be my thing this year. I was like, should I get
Really?
surgery on my eyes? Because you know what it is. I was tired of being in the shower and being blurry. You know.
Dude,
that was like the thing I realized. I wore contacts once in the shower. I was like, holy shit.
do you ever wake up with your contacts and you were like, holy fuck?
Well, so here's the problem was.
You're about the same.
The
like,
problem
level of
was, where are you at?
prescription
The
here, too.
problem
You wanna-
was,
do you wanna
I
see
grew
how
up
bad this
and I
is?
had like hard contacts. Hard contacts sucked.
What is a hard contact?
exactly what it's thick water. It's just it's context. Like what do you want? Like there's not. It's in the name. It's very self-explanatory. You're not as bad.
I feel funny.
You're not as bad.
So hold on.
Sick.
You're deflecting.
I think I'll take unlimited video games, but no more video games because video games are fucking terrible.
But you have unlimited.
I would. So
you're just not a bacon guy, or like
no one else would have video games. I think I can live without bacon. There's so many other parts of the pig.
Well, the bacon isn't part of the second one.
You can still have the bacon.
You still have bacon.
Oh, it's okay. Then
Sorry, Freddie. I think you're confused.
Why don't we repeat the question?
Again, would you rather have unlimited bacon, Freddie Wow?
Yeah.
Or but no more video games.
Freddie Woe.
Freddie Woe. Or
I'm getting
unlimited video games.
Would you rather, Freddie, have unlimited bacon, but no more games?
Got it. Yeah.
Or would you rather have games?
Yeah.
Unlimited games.
Unlimited games, but no more video games.
Come on, Freddie. Woohoo! What'll it be?
I'll take the second option. I think I want to be the only one that has.
What was the second option again? That was
unlimited video games.
Oh no, but you don't have video games.
Shit.
Yeah, there's no games.
Did you listen to the second
seriously
part?
no games.
You gotta make a choice.
So that'd be no different then. It's just like, all right, I'll take two. No more video games.
You can't take two because there's not going to be any to take.
That's fair. Yeah. No, I know.
I accept that.
Because 2 is a world where there's no more video games, right?
Well, I don't know.
2 is a world where there's no more video games.
I get no. I think it's only for you.
No more masturbatory experiences.
It's true.
Do you guys want to go into the woods after this?
You want to go into the woods and see how we do?
Let's just see how long we last.
A little bit of daisying.
Yeah, I think that could be good.
We could do it now.
Thank you guys so much for watching the Chuckle Sandwich Podcast. We will catch you between the trees. There he goes. Off to get a head start.
Doing his little...
Hey, not without us. Don't get too many sticks and twigs out there.
Sticks and twigs. Who's on stick and twig duty?
I'll get the bramble.
Yeah, but while we still have you here, I mean, we can do the little bit of the rolling out of the red carpet. This camera. Okay, the freelo camera there.
I'm in front of this one.
Okay.
Tell the people what you got going on.
What I got going on. I do a podcast called Dungeons and Daddies. You can find it at dungeonsdaddies.com or just Google it, but make sure that you Google podcast. Otherwise, you might get some other things. It's a Dungeons & Dragons podcast. It's also, we made it so that if you are not huge into D&D, it'll be entertaining. And we just finished our first season. We're starting our second season. It's dungeonsandDaddies.com. And then I'm on Twitter at FWong, and I'm going to have a movie probably in a year or so.
Hell yeah. Is there any way we can look out for that movie that's on its way?
Just follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter.
Yep.
FWong.
And be better than me. Listen to that podcast.
Especially if you're in JFK for 12 hours.
Yeah.
Jerk.
Damn.
I'll get the twigs.
All right.
Thank you so much for coming on,
absolutely.
man.
Thanks for having me
It's
on.
been an absolute pleasure to have you on here.
I don't know if we should clap.
What do you do? Great job, Freddie!
Great job!
We did it!
Oh, man.